Well, we're going to move on and start another tune. This one is an old gospel tune that Merle Travis used to play and sing quite a lot, called I Am a Pilgrim. And it goes like this. I am a pilgrim and a stranger, traveling through this wearisome land. I've got home in that yonder city, oh Lord, and it's not made by hand. I've got a mother and a sister and brother who have all gone on before, and I know for sure that I'm gonna join them someday over on, Lord, over on that other shore. Maybe you noticed that this version of I Am a Pilgrim has a lot of things in common with 9 Pound Hammer. They're both in E, using the same 3 basic chords, and they both had that little bass run going from the E to the B7th. And some of the melody is even kind of similar. But you may have also noticed that I went up the neck, just as we did in 9 Pound Hammer, but this time with a full chord way up the neck. And what you did there was, it was on a high E chord, or E7th. If you play your B7th down here, your first position B7th, you may notice that if you move that way up to the 7th fret, 6th and 7th fret, it's an E7th chord now, lo and behold, and you've still got the use of the low 6th string, and so that's a really useful chord, and we're going to need that to play the higher melody notes in this tune. Also, when you're playing the melody, you're going to come down to an A and use this A position here. So just for a moment, to get this high A note, you've got this A chord, and then it jumps down to the regular A7th. Now, let's just, once again, as I did with 9 Pound Hammer, let me just slow down the singing part so you can get a good look at what you have to play on the guitar while you're singing this tune. I was throwing in a few little in-between licks like I did with 9 Pound Hammer, that is, in between the vocal phrases, and occasionally there were little hammer-ons, like that one there on the 2nd string. Here's what I'm talking about. As I go down to that river of Jordan, just to bathe my weary soul, if I could touch just the hem of his garment, Lord, then I know that would make me whole. So some of those little in-between phrases have this little lick on the 2nd string, and occasionally it sounds good to hammer on the 3rd string too. A similar kind of deal. Do, 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 that would make me whole. Same kind of thing. So just as with 9 Pound Hammer, it's probably a good idea to get acquainted with the melody to this song and make sure you can play that on the treble strings before you even start worrying about the bass. But remember, just like in 9-Pound Hammer, when you're playing the melody, you still have to make the chord shapes with your left hand, because once you add the bass notes, obviously you have to have the right chords in place. So here's just the bare melody to I Am a Pilgrim. And it starts pretty much like 9-Pound Hammer. And here's that high E. Well, I forgot to tell you about that one little curly cue up there. That's a nice little twist. To get this high melody note here, you actually go with both the first and the third strings. You know, a lot of blues players will do turnaround licks that fool around with that same little device. And then the bass lick. So that's the bare melody to this tune, and of course the next step is to put it together with the bass notes. So just like we did with the other tune, I'd like to split the screen and play both the part that happens when I'm singing the tune and the part that happens when you play the instrumental, and first making it so that all the melody notes coincide with the bass, the thumb notes, and then syncopating it a little bit. So here's I Am a Pilgrim with a split screen. I am a pilgrim and a stranger, traveling through this wearisome land. I've got a home in yonder city, oh Lord, and it's not made by hand.